Live, local, now. This is WMBF News at 7.
We are glad you're with us at 7 o'clock. I'm Eric Weisfeld.
Hey there, I'm Rachel Bogle. Thanks for joining us.
And a severe weather day for much of us here in South Carolina.
That's right, but for us, fortunately, the risk of severe weather is over. Meteorologist Robert Whitehurst is here to break down what's next now that the worst of those storms have passed. Hey, Robert.
Yes, pretty big improvements through the day. We had that tornado warning earlier in the day across interior Horry County. Now just left with a couple little showers. Plenty of cloud cover. It's going to take some time for those to exit. By sunrise tomorrow, we're starting to see some sunnier skies, and we'll see sunnier weather continue to roll in as we head through the day Thursday. Could see some clouds right around sunrise, but as I mentioned, breaks in there as we head through late morning, and mainly sunny skies as we move through the afternoon. Now, it's not as warm tomorrow. It's not the big drop that arrives in a Friday, but instead of the middle to upper 70s that we've had the last 2 days, we're falling back through the upper 60s. That still puts us right around 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. 50s to start the day. That's actually where we're supposed to be in the afternoons. We climb from there with the clearing skies. Then the winds switch back out of the north. It's going to usher a drop in temperature starting Friday, continuing through the weekend with a few extra clouds as we make our way through the weekend. I'll have that forecast coming up.
Well, earlier this afternoon, intense winds and rains from that line of storms brought down power lines and several trees, especially in the area of Juniper Bay Road near Conway. That's where Eric Richards has been for several hours now, speaking to neighbors there about that damage. Eric, what's the latest on that cleanup?
Good evening, Rachel. The latest right now is that residents here are feeling a little bit of relief after this storm came through. It did damage some outbuildings, but the main house here, on the property that I'm standing on, is intact and okay. Now, this is the Baxley family home, which is also a pecan farm. Now, a couple of those pecan trees came down when the storm rolled through, and as they came down, so did the power lines in the area. Horry Electric, though, worked very hard to get those power lines back up and restored. South Carolina DOT also assisted by moving the debris out of the roadway. Now you can see here in this video a clear picture now of the damage and what that has been like, especially for those outbuildings I mentioned earlier. This farm has also had some old buildings and even an old television tower that is damaged.
A tower that used to be a television tower. It's laying across the top of the house. And my son, I have 3 sons, and my middle son that's there now, he said that the meter on the house was torn completely.
Wow.
Now, neighbors have been stopping by the Baxley home here, checking on them, making sure that they are okay. The National Weather Service will be in this area tomorrow assessing the damage and determining what exactly came through here, if it was a tornado or not. For now, live here near Conway, Eric Richards, WMBF News.
All right, Eric, and if you see damage where you live or you have any pictures of the weather moving in, we'd love for you to send it our way through WMBFnews.com or the WMBF News app. All you have to do is select Submit a Photo from the home screen. And if you have the WMBF First Alert Weather app, you were the first to know about the tornado warning issued in our area hours ago. On your screen right now is just some of the push alerts we sent to let you know about the storm's potential impact. If you don't have that app, do yourself a favor, scan the QR code on your screen to get this life-saving tool in your hands.
Building is now underway for nearly 2,000 new homes not far from the Surfside Beach area. And it has one business owner there excited to get some new customers through her doors. WMBF News reporter Ian Klein joins us with more on that new addition.
According to the home builders' websites, a lot of these houses should be move-in ready come spring and summer of this year. Looking online, it has a lot of a similar feel of what you might see at the Market Common. A master plan to build more than 1,800 homes in the surrounding area was created and approved in 2007. It will become the Saybrook community. The area has grown very popular over the last 5 years with major retail shops like Target, Petco, and Marshall's. However, there are also many locally owned businesses here as well. Amanda Stinnett has owned Real Hot Yoga here in the Saybrook shopping area for 5 years and is excited to welcome in what she hopes will be new customers right within walking distance of her business.
We're really happy to see more people moving into the area, especially it being a Market Common-esque type of development.
Vibe, yeah.
So we really hope we have more of a walkable area that people can walk over to the studio and it be a real community feel.
I did reach out to the property owner as well as Horry County leaders to learn a little bit more about the project as well as when these roads could officially open, but have not heard back yet at this time. In Horry County, Ian Klein, WMBF News.
Myrtle Beach police want your help. They're trying to find a man that officers say that he is in connection to a shooting last month at the Wave Rider Resort. If you do know where or who or where he is, call police at 843-918-1904. By the way, that shooting happened just after noon at the motel back on December 14th. That's near 16th Avenue South and Ocean Boulevard. A 43-year-old man was hurt, but it is unclear how he's doing tonight.
Well, we have an update now on a story we brought you here first yesterday on WMBF News. People in the Longs community, along with Horry County Police, the solicitor, and family members are asking questions after a reported string of violence at a bar in the area. They met today following the shooting death of a 22-year-old man on New Year's Day. Our Allie Espinosa was there. She has a look at what those community members want to happen next.
What I can say is that everyone inside of that meeting earlier today was in agreement that something needs to be done to end this violence in the Longs community. Now, Horry County officials tell me this meeting is following the New Year's Day shooting at the Longs bar that left 22-year-old Emmanuel Melvin dead and injured 2 others. Today, Horry County police and leaders came together at a church just down the street from the bar. They say now is the time to take action and stop this violence within their community. Pastor J.R. Matthews tells me he's been living in this community for years and knows it well, but he says something needs to be done to help their youth.
We must come together as a community and find out what are those things that we must do to make our community better. And I know we sometimes use the term take our community back. Well, that's a little more than I want to say take our community back. Our community hasn't been taken from us. There are just some things that we need to work on to make our community better.
Further plans will be coming within the next month at a next meeting. From the control room, Allie Espinosa, WMBF News.
It is going to be several more weeks before we find out how long the man convicted of kidnapping and killing an 80-year-old Horry County grandmother will serve in jail. U.S. Attorney's Office confirms Dominique Brand's sentencing date is pushed back now from this Friday to February 3rd. A judge found Brand guilty in September of kidnapping and killing Mary Ann Elvington. Officials say Brand kidnapped Elvington from her home in Nichols back in March of 2021 before shooting and killing her behind an abandoned grocery store.
We now know the mother of Brittany Drexel is filing a civil lawsuit against the man who killed her daughter. Investigative anchor Ashley Bowles joins us to break it down.
Brittany Drexel's mom, Dawn Plecken, is filing the lawsuit against Brittany's convicted rapist, kidnapper, and murderer Raymond Moody. Now, in the suit, it doesn't say exactly how much money Dawn is seeking, but it does say Plecken is demanding a jury trial. The lawsuit was filed in Georgetown County last night. Dawn, who lives in Florida, is being represented by a law firm based in Columbia. Now, the suit details the facts in the case against Raymond Moody, who pleaded guilty to the kidnapping, rape, and murder of Drexel in October of this year. The actions, though, took place in April of 2009. You see surveillance video on your screen now that was captured on April 25th, just before 9 p.m. of Brittany leaving a hotel on Ocean Boulevard. She then walked north. Moody told investigators he picked up Brittany from Ocean Boulevard and drove her to his campsite at Pullyard Boat Landing in Georgetown County. That's where he says he raped and killed her. He buried her body in the county the next day. Her remains were not found until earlier this year after Moody confessed. The lawsuit goes on to say that the defendant's actions inflicted emotional distress, incurred medical bills, loss of enjoyment of life, and pain and suffering. Now, we have reached out to Dawn, who referred us to her lawyers. We have not heard back from her lawyers yet. We also reached out to try and see who would be representing Moody, but that is not clear as of this moment. We've been following this case for 13 years. You can find all of our coverage on WMBFnews.com, including our latest news special, Case Closed. In the newsroom, Ashley Bowles, WMBF News.
From taking steps toward better heart health,
and the new year bringing with it new health concerns.
we have tonight's top health headlines when we come back.
And those showers moving out, watching a drop in temperatures heading our way. The first alert forecast next.
Last week, Brandon met a certified most accurate forecast from First Alert meteorologist Robert Whitehurst.
Rain chances quickly coming to an end tonight. A couple light showers along the Grand Strand and a lot of cloud cover. It'll take some time for us to completely clear the clouds out. They're pretty thick here over the next few hours. And still the chance of a couple small showers, but no heavy rain in the forecast. The back edge of the cloud cover begins to roll offshore just ahead of sunrise tomorrow. That's some pretty rapid improvements with the clearing skies, mainly sunny skies, as we get through the afternoon. It's a warm day. Not quite into the middle to upper 70s, near record warmth the last couple of afternoons, but still well above average. 50s to start the day, well into the 60s as we make our way through lunchtime. Clearing skies, upper 60s to 3 p.m. I don't expect any 70s tomorrow, but we're pretty close to it. And then the drop through the 50s. Now, if you like the warm weather, this is the warmest we'll see, likely for the next couple of weeks. We're starting to bring in a bigger drop in temperatures as we make our way into Friday. So this is sunrise tomorrow morning. That line of storms a couple hundred miles offshore, continuing to move away. There's a nice drop in humidity tomorrow, and then the cooler weather begins to filter in as we head through Friday. Winds back out of the north, and will eventually bring in a frost threat as we head through the first part of the weekend. The temperatures dipping back to where we typically are. 57 is right on target for our afternoon highs for this time of the year, and that's where we get Saturday. So even Friday, Sunday, cooler than what we'll see tomorrow, above average. 59 Friday, low 60s Sunday. Do bring some clouds in for the end of the weekend. Not a lot of moisture to work with, but 1 or 2 showers, certainly a possibility for the back half of the weekend. Otherwise, a relatively quiet 7-day. On and off light showers at times next week, but the rain chance is capped at about 20% starting Sunday and all the way through early next week. Temperatures, as I mentioned, that 67 is the warmest we see through the entire week. We'll see temperatures dip into the upper 50s through Friday, low 50s Saturday with some 30s around for early Saturday morning. You can see some areas of frost developing for areas inland. We rebound a bit through the 60s Monday, but notice the 10-day, a lot of afternoons in the 50s. So we're not seeing any big warming trends, but also nothing overly cold. 50s are where we're supposed to be, and we'll see a lot of that here over the next couple of weeks. Your inland forecast, upper 60s tomorrow, trying to hit 70, probably don't get there. And then we start to bring in the cooler weather through the rest of the week. Low 60s Friday, upper 50s as we head into the first part of the weekend with that 34 around. Your best chance of frost here for the next week is what we see for early Saturday. And then as we continue through next week, we'll start to see a bit of a rebound. Mid 60s as we make our way through Sunday and Monday, back into the 50s by next Tuesday.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. In fact, one person dies every 34 seconds. Now, there is some good news, some things you can do to actually boost your heart health. Here are 5 New Year's resolutions to help improve your heart. This new year, why not make heart health a priority? Here are 5 easy ways to start. First, follow the 80-20 rule.
So try to pick 80% of your foods to be whole foods.
Whole foods have not been processed, refined, or had ingredients added to them. This includes fruits, veggies, nuts, whole grains, meat, fish, and eggs. Another heart-healthy resolution to consider, incorporate 30 minutes of exercise into your routine every day.
Even if it means that you're walking 30 minutes a day and it's split into 10, 10, and 10.
One recent Harvard review finds walking for just 2.5 hours a week cuts the risk of heart disease by 30%. Also resolved to get more sleep. This new year, in one study, people sleeping less than 6 hours a night had a 20% higher risk of a heart attack. Another resolution to consider, aim to reduce stress levels. Meditation can help. And Dr. Shaw also recommends keeping a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each morning.
It releases the happy hormones, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all these things that help our arteries, help our blood pressure, help our heart rate, let us live longer.
Our last resolution, nix bad habits like smoking and drinking. If you do have a drink, limit alcohol to no more than 6 to 8 ounces a day, but cut cigarettes altogether. Research shows smoking causes about 1 out of every 4 deaths from heart disease.
And as we begin 2023, many health experts say watching out for the new coronavirus variants is of utmost importance. In the United States, Omicron subvariants are still the cause of almost all COVID-19 infections. Its latest subvariant now accounts for more than 40% of COVID-19 cases in the U.S. That surge has prompted the country to require a negative COVID test for all travelers from China beginning on January 5th. Now let's take a look at COVID numbers here in Horry County. South Carolina's Department of Health and Environmental Control is reporting over 32,000 positive cases per 100,000 people. That's over 1,000 positive cases in comparison to the last 2 weeks. South Carolina's DHEC is attributing that spike to the holidays.
New for you at 7, annual maintenance of Barefoot Swing Bridge starts up this week. Traffic in the area will be reduced to 1 lane. The maintenance should take about 6 weeks to complete. So if you need to travel through that area, consider giving yourself a few extra minutes.
All aboard. So who picks the seat when dogs in Alaska take a ride on their very own bus? We explain in 3 minutes.
New year, new bathroom. Take 15%.
So you may or may not enjoy traveling by bus.
Yeah, but we have the story of a bus you'll probably love because it's not about people, it's about pups.
For me, that's a win. Jeannie Mose has more on the doggy bus.
Good morning, Bama.
It definitely isn't a Greyhound bus, but there are hounds in it.
Good morning, Jake.
Nothing but dogs jumping into their assigned seats, attached to leashes rather than seat belts, picking up waiting passengers with wagging tails.
Good morning, Amaru. Would you like a complimentary liver with your bus ride?
Nobody said no.
Jake. Dasher. Gumbo.
This bus is better than an airline.
Excuse you, you already had yours.
The doggy bus
Load up!
is operated by Mo Mountain Mutts in tiny Skagway, Alaska. It's a husband and wife team offering dog training and dog walking. Do the dogs know their own seat?
Most of them do. The new puppies don't. They'll try to just jump in any seat available until we shuffle them back into the licky puppy corner.
The licky puppy corner? They're practically necking in the back of the bus as they ride to outings.
Yarrow, notice are tangled.
The bus offers the potential for entanglements, but when we watch them disembark...
Jake, Amaru, Odie, go ahead.
They were better behaved than a busload of kids.
I can't tell you how many of these dogs were monsters before I started working with them.
That's Mo Thompson's own little monster chiming in. Oh, sure, some of the passengers are rule breakers.
Excuse me, ma'am, your tail is in the aisle. Ma'am, you're gonna have to adjust your butt.
But there's one seat that's off limits.
Who's honking the horn? Bama!
Bama's ready to trade her dog license for a driver's license.
Excuse me, ma'am, you're not driving. Get out of my seat.
Hello, everyone.
I think I'm going to ship my dog up to Alaska to get trained. Oh, right. That would never work with him. Yeah. Warmer weather back with us again tomorrow. Not quite as warm as the middle to upper 70s the last couple of days, but still, this time of the year, way above average. Upper 60s as we head through the early afternoon. The clouds clearing, and then we'll start to bring some cooler weather in, although the average high 56, 57. So we hit that Saturday, and while it is cooler through the weekend, early next week, it's still above average. It's just, we'll feel a lot cooler when you hit 76, 77 for a couple of days in January. Think, spring's here. Not quite. Average high 50s, and that's what we'll see through the weekend. Could see some mornings back down through the 30s, even some low 30s by Saturday. So right back to the typical January weather.
We've been spoiled, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coming up tonight at 11 o'clock, one-on-one with outgoing Superintendent Molly Spearman. She reflects on the change in command with incoming Superintendent Ellen Weaver.
We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock. Have a good rest of your night.